Hi, my name is Ilma and welcome to my channel. I've been posting Christian blogs 13 straight years every day. Today I'd like to share Daniel 2 verses 31 to 36. Here's the word of God. You saw, O king, and behold, a great image. This image, mighty and of exceeding brightness, stood before you, and its appearance was frightening. The head of this image was of fine gold, its chest and arms of silver, its middle and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of clay. As you looked, a stone was cut out by no human hand, and it struck the image on its feet of iron and clay, and broke them in pieces. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold all together were broken in pieces and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, so that not a trace of them could be found. But the stone that struck the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This was the dream. Now we will tell the king its interpretation. Daniel 2:31 to 36. Here's my poem. Daniel narrates the king's dream. The dream showed a great image that was so bright but frightening. Its head was made of gold, and its chest and arms were of silver. Its middle and thighs were made of bronze, and its leg of iron. Its feet were partly iron and partly clay and broken in pieces. Then all of the materials it was made were all broken. It became like chaff on the threshing floors during the summer. Here's my commentary. In this account, God displays his omniscience and power. No human being can read someone else's mind, let alone one person's dream. Notice the details of the dream that was explicitly declared by Daniel. In the later part of this chapter, we will also hear God's interpretation through Daniel what each aspect of the dream meant. I could imagine Nebuchadnezzar's jaw-dropping shock to hear the details of his dream as if it was a movie being played in front of his very eyes while Daniel narrated his dream. What an extraordinary experience it must have been to witness the magnitude and sovereignty of God through Daniel. Surely one's heart will be touched no matter how cold and hardened it is. But let us see how Nebuchadnezzar's reaction would be in the following part of this chapter. Reflection. How is this narrative more about the divine rather than humans? Well, you could actually see it's almost like a miracle that happened, that God used Daniel to show Nebuchadnezzar that he is the one and only God who can do what he just did for him to interpret his dream, or to not just to interpret his dream, but to even speak it out, because that's what he wanted. That's what Nebuchadnezzar wanted all the wise men of Babylon to do, to guess the dream and then interpret it. But who can do that? No human can do that. So here we see that only the divine can do what Nebuchadnezzar wanted to have answers for. So it's important for us to recognize that this narrative is about God's all-knowing character. He is all-powerful and sovereignty, all-knowing, all-powerful. He knows everything. He knows our hearts. He knows our mind. He knows what we're going to say even just before we start saying it. While it is still in our minds, he knows about it already. So it's important that we recognize and marvel at this magnificence and splendor that God shows through Daniel. So it's important that we rely on Him alone, because He alone knows everything. But, as human beings, we always just go to ourselves and rely on ourselves, fix our own problems. We don't go to God, we don't ask God, and so we don't get knowledge, we don't get discernment, we don't get understanding. So in here, it is only those who have the Spirit of the Lord who can actually be used by God as a vessel, so that his splendor could be displayed. Thanks for watching. I hope you check my website at ilmaars.com for artworks, photographs, and a copy of this blog. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube so I can make more videos, give you the Word of God. And if you haven't already, check over 4,000 videos I've done over the years I've been doing this daily. Just type on YouTube or Google search ILMA'S Poem Devotional. Have a wonderful day.